So much talk about the Tush Push might be a good thing that it's staying for Detroit.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, here we go, everybody. It's a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions right here in the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Matt Derry with you on a Wednesday, May 21st and a Thursday, May 22nd. Thank you for making us your first listen, everybody, and checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. That includes on our Locked On Lions YouTube channel. If you're not on our YouTube channel and want to watch us, please subscribe and check us out every day. Speaking of everydayers, folks that watch and listen to the podcast daily, I get hit up a lot of times on my LinkedIn page. And you can find me, connect with me, Matt Derry, on LinkedIn. But some of our everydayers check in on LinkedIn with me, and I appreciate some of you, such as Jason Johnson. Thank you for being with us every day. Jeremiah May, Sean Redmond, Chris Marion, and Brandon Marinu. Thank you, fellas, for checking us out daily here on Locked On Lions. We love to shout out our everydayers that are out there as well. Got to give some love to my guy, Alex Urban. He and Jordan host the Eat 'em Up Tigers podcast, and I went on with those guys to talk a little Tigers and Guardians. Most of you know by now, I'm a Guardians fan. My brother and I do the Derry Brothers Guardians cast. I went on with Alex and Jordan on their Eat 'em Up pod, and I put that on LinkedIn and all the social media, so check that out as well. All right, coming up on the program today, yes, the biggest news around the NFL is that the Tush Push debate is at least over for now. The NFL owners voted it to stay. They needed 24 out of 32 no's to get rid of it. And the infamous play where the Philadelphia Eagles on a short yardage situation, whether it's 4th and goal, 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, whatever, they get their running backs and tight ends behind Jalen Hurts and they push. Hurts is behind through the line of scrimmage, something that is illegal on defense. You cannot, a linebacker or a safety can't push a defensive lineman forward. You can't do that on defense, but on offense you can. And the Tush Push, the Eagles' famous play that they've utilized in short yardage, is staying. We'll get more into that. Also, our friends at Game Time have the top 10 games that are the most expensive right now in the NFL. 4 of those 10 are at Ford Field. We'll explain that coming up as well. Tyleik Williams, the Lions' first-round pick, has signed. And also, Isaac TeSlaa really fits in. I will explain that later on in the program as well, right here on Locked On Lions. Real fast as well, Lions, of course, had put in for a vote on reseeding the postseason. And then they changed it up a little bit and wanted to reseed. The Lions were proposing this to NFL owners and the competition committee to reseed after the first round so that teams such as last year's Minnesota Vikings with 14 wins would be able to host a team that had a less amount of wins, even though they were a division winner. And the Lions decided today to retract that and get rid of it. So the Lions did not push today anymore to the owners and competition committee to vote on reseeding. So the NFL seeding system with division winners being the first 4 seeds and everything else, that's staying put. But the biggest news today, like we talked about, is the Tush Push is also staying put and was voted through by owners to stay. They needed 24 out of 32 owners, 75% to vote yes, ban the Tush Push. They only got 22 votes. 10 teams, including the Lions, voted no, don't ban it, keep it. Dan Campbell has said it. He thinks it's a football play. He thinks that if you want to stop it, stop. If you want to get rid of it, stop it. Many people argue against it because, like I said before, it gives an advantage to the offense where you can push teammates and ball carriers, but on defense, you can't do that. You cannot push defensive linemen to give them more leverage. Even on special teams, of course, when you're trying to block a field goal or block an extra point, linebackers or secondary people cannot push defensive linemen more forward to stop any kind of kicking situation as well. But on offense, you can move people. Speaking of kicking situations, and I'm going to completely go off the radar here for 1 second. Somebody, I know I got a tweet from somebody recently that said, it has been months since I have mentioned or referenced the kicker, the kicker list. Jake Bates is such a lock with this franchise and was so good last year as a rookie that, yes, I have not mentioned the kicker list at all. And I'm not even going to reach for the kicker list right now because under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, we know it's been a revolving door for 4 years at kicker until last year with Jake Bates, who's been fantastic. So, yes, I am kicker list. I haven't decided yet if I want to, and this has been a staple of this Locked On Lions podcast for 5 years. I don't know if I'm going to burn it. I don't know if I'm going to put it in, frame it. I don't know what I'm going to do. But anyway, I was talking about kicking. Let's get back to the tush push thing. Jeremy Reisman wrote in prideofdetroit.com, and I was going to bring this up myself, but I got to give Jeremy some love too. Tush push is actually a play that the Lions utilize, but not necessarily the same way that the Eagles do. What do I mean by that? So, number one, we know how Philly utilizes it. Short yardage, Jalen Hurts under center, and the running backs or the tight or running back and a tight end push Hurts's butt into the line, giving them leverage, giving them more strength. And, it works. It's something that is utilized and gets them the first down, the touchdown, whatever. People are banning it, saying it's not fair. It's not a football play, whatever. And what I said before about the defense, the Lions utilize their own version of the tush push with their running backs. If you notice, and if you watch games, if they were to ban the tush push, meaning that they were going to say no more can any ball carrier be pushed by teammates forward, that would, I think, stunt the Lions a little bit on offense and their growth. Because if you watch a couple of games over the last couple of years, what is Penei Sewell? What have, especially Sewell, but Sewell and Ragnow, especially, and some of the Lions offensive linemen have done a great job of when David Montgomery is kind of stood up 5, 6, 7 yards down the field. If you notice, the Lions offensive linemen, and heck, even some of the receivers who are as good a blocking group as any in the league, push David Montgomery forward for more yardage. And because the tush push is being kept, all right, and the runner is being assisted, all right, that's going to help the Lions. All right, it's going to, and so that kind of, I don't know, the Eagles' use of the tush push is obviously just a quarterback and the 4th and 1 and 4th and goal and all of that. But watch how the Lions and how physical they are in pushing their running backs forward to gain an extra 4 or 5 yards down the field. All right. And Dan Campbell said it back in April. To me, leave it in. We play them this year, Philadelphia. We got to find a way to stop it. I like that. And yes, the Eagles have perfected it. But the other thing that I don't understand is, why don't other teams use it? Why don't other teams practice it? If it's still going to be legal, which it is right now, if I'm Dan Campbell and I'm John Morton, the Lions offensive coordinator, I'm using it. 4th and 2 in key spots this year. And a couple times we saw empty backfields and Jared Goff throw an incomplete pass. And I'm going, and I know we don't want to get Jared Goff injured. And I know he's not as big and strong and fast. Not that the Jalen Hurts tush push play is fast, but you don't want to get Goff hurt. But if I'm any of these other teams, I'm trying it out myself. If you're going to get leverage, you're going to get extra push. You're going to get an extra opportunity to get strength up front. Why wouldn't you utilize that? And until teams stop it, it is a football play. Is it backyard BS a little bit? Is it unfair that the defense isn't allowed to push their players forward, but on offense you can? Of course it is. Of course it's unfair. Makes no sense. But this league has constantly been pushing, no pun intended, offense and excitement and points. They want more offense. And, well, this is more offense here with this Eagles play. So they've perfected it. Now other teams, I think, should use it because it's not going to be banned. All right. Game Time. Our friends at the Game Time app where you get your tickets. I got some tickets for Guardians Tigers on Game Time this weekend. They've come out with the 10 most highlighted games in terms of price. I'm going to give you the exact verbiage here. Top 10 in-demand games in terms of median price for tickets. 4 of the top 10 games are right here at Ford Field. We will explain that coming up next right here on a Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions. Matt Derry with you. All right, everybody, NBA playoffs are here. You know what that means. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and during the game live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. All right, what would it look like to combine, let's say, live prop bets mid-game based on how the action unfolds? And maybe you already have some money through FanDuel with your FanDuel account on the game, but then you add more. It's fun. If you got to read on who's heating up, why not back it up with the same game parlay? And how could a $200 bonus in bets add to the excitement if your first $5 bet wins? It's simple. It's our folks at FanDuel. If you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Just go to their website, FanDuel.com, and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. We got Knicks, Pacers tonight. All right, folks, we have been talking about it, and I mentioned it yesterday on the program as well, that the Lions preseason games are out, including on the 16th as they play Miami, and on the 23rd, they play the Houston Texans. And for many of you, you want to get down to Ford Field, and it is just way, way too expensive. I mean, ridiculously expensive. And I've heard from some friends already that have said, hey, look, maybe I'll want to take my fam down to a game, even though it's a preseason game, because it's affordable. And if you go on the Game Time app right now, you can get tickets for the Miami preseason game for $75. You want to go to the opener against the Bears, the home opener? Lowest ticket price right now on Game Time is $374. So Game Time did come out the other day with their top 10 in-demand games now that the 2025 NFL season schedule is out. Of the top 10 games, 4 of them are at Ford Field right now with the high prices. Cowboys, Eagles right now for the season opener in Philadelphia, the median price, all right, which means the average price, median price, is $1,242 on Game Time. $1,242, $1,242. That's crazy. Cowboys at Raiders in Vegas is next up at $1,029. Third on the list is the Steelers-Lions December 21st game. We were talking about that yesterday with Jamie Edmonds. $926 is the median price right now on Game Time to see the Lions and Steelers. Then you got Cowboys-Lions, $885. Eagles at Packers, $846. Packers at Lions, Thanksgiving Day, $846. Bears-Lions, $830. And the Lions at Packers game, the median price right now is $792. So the Lions are involved in 5 of the 10 games, and 4 of the 10 are right here in Detroit. Think about that for a second. Think about how far we've come. Now, a couple of things. Number one, I hate this. I hate this for the fans. The average price, median price for Bears Lions in week 2 for the home opener is $830. The lowest price I saw today on Game Time was $376. And that is outrageous, especially for standing room or, end zone, upper level, last row. You're paying around $400 a ticket. Demand, supply and demand is a thing right now. Demand for Lions tickets is insane. All right. But these prices as median prices on Game Time are crazy. Crazy. I don't know what the answer is. I don't like it. I wish The Lions would have been better about how they offered those single game tickets. We talked about this. Our buddy Claire Neinstead called in on Call of the Day. And if you want to be our Call of the Day, we'll do one tomorrow at the speakpipe.com/dairy podcast page. But these 4 games, Steelers, Lions, Cowboys, Lions, Packers, Lions, and Bears at Ford Field, I mean, averaging around $800-900 a ticket is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm well aware prices are up everywhere. I'm not even bothering, and I will not do this because I made you guys a promise on this program. I'm not going to get political. I'm not talking about anything political. We all know prices have gone up, and you're pricing out, the Joe fan or whatever you want to say. And that's rough. Very, very rough. But again, you guys keep going. The Lions are the hottest ticket in town. The Tigers are playing great, the best record in baseball. They've been awesome. The Pistons made a great run in the playoffs, and many of you could not wait to get there and be down at the LCA. And it was a lot of fun, those games. The Knicks, unfortunately, the Pistons lost all of them, but great environment and atmosphere. But these prices are crazy. But people want to go to Ford Field. People love this football team. This team is a massive contender. And now this is the place you got to get the tickets. Is Game Time or whatever. I mean, to me, we're partial to Game Time here on this show, and I am as well. I think it's the best app, and I'm not doing a plug for it. I'm just telling you. But maybe the move is you wait until last minute and hope the prices come down, and on Sunday morning you decide I'm going to go on the app and buy them there, and whoever's selling is bringing the price down because they're nervous that they're not going to be able to sell the seat. But you want to prepare. You want to know you got the tickets in hand or in your phone. And 4 of the top 10 games at are Ford Field games for median ticket price. How did we get here? We got here because, number one, the Lions are so popular and so much fun and so good. But also, we need a little bit of a market correction here because this is insane, the prices that are here. All right, good news for Detroit. They now have every draft pick signed but one. That is because first-round pick Tyleik Williams has signed his 4-year contract that will pay him a total of around $16.25 million. So Tyleik will make around $4 million a year because he was drafted number 28 in the first round by Detroit. He is slotted to make that money. There are bonuses and other things that the agent works out. He, of course, also has that 5th-year option that the Lions can pick up. And so Tyleik Williams is officially signed, which is awesome. And, of course, he's been bothered a little bit by a hamstring and hasn't really been working out much with the team through rookie mini camp, but he'll be fine. The only player that has not signed his contract yet is second-round pick Tate Ratledge, who, of course, I'm a big fan of and I think will be a starter on this offensive line. But the Lions handling their business, taking care of their rookies, and now everybody is signed but one, as the team has organized team activities going on down in Allen Park. Here's the other thing I'll say about Tyleik Williams. I've been watching more tape on him. I've been hopping on YouTube and checking out his tape and some games that he has played at Ohio State. And the more you watch a guy like Tyleik Williams, the more you like. He's got, a lot of times, like you'll watch a game and you'll see a defensive tackle, nose tackle, whatever you want to call it, 3 technique, 4 technique, whatever. You watch these guys, and there are times that because they're blocked and pushed, they lose track and lose sight of where the football is. If the running back is bouncing outside, sometimes you see a lineman look behind him. Sometimes when they're pushed by a guard or they're double teamed and they're pushed, they don't have the awareness of where the ball is. All right. They're, when we're watching on TV or we're up in the stands, we see where the ball is. On the field, sometimes the players, they sometimes don't, locate the ball. If you're at a high school game or college or pro game, what do you always hear on the sidelines when a quarterback fakes a handoff and is back to throw? You hear everybody yelling, pass. You hear people yelling, run. I was watching Tyleik Williams tape at Ohio State. This guy he has a nose for the football. His awareness, how smart he is, and his vision on the field is really, really impressive. It never seems like he's lost or loses sight of where the ball carrier is or where the football is. So he is signed. He's got his 4-year deal done. It's kind of a formality now. This isn't like the old days where first round picks held out. Quarterbacks wanted more money than anything else. Now everything is slotted, which is I think a great thing for rookies. They're still going to get a lot of money. Tyleik Williams is still going to make, as a first round pick, over $4 million a year. That's pretty damn good money. And we'll have a 5th-year option, and that will be based on his performance, which you love. A guy like Jameson Williams, if the Lions have picked up his 5th-year option, and next year will likely be slotted around $20 million, which if he's playing as well as he's playing and he has a good year this year, he'll deserve. But just a quick note there on all the Lions draft picks. Again, Tate Ratledge is the only player that has not been signed as of yet. All right. I have a feeling that come August, when we get to the preseason, many of you are going to have a new favorite player. And it's not just because he's going to get reps, but Isaac TeSlaa, the Lions' 3rd-round pick, the wide receiver from Arkansas, local kid from the state of Michigan, is already getting some dap and some love from the fan base. He went on the St. Brown Brothers podcast and had some very interesting things to say. And we'll talk about that coming up next right here on Locked On Lions. All right, welcome back. So we know this. The Detroit Lions have a rivalry, of course, with the Green Bay Packers. Heck, we're gonna have a big-time rivalry this year with the Chicago Bears. Nobody likes the Minnesota Vikings either. The NFC North is stacked, loaded. The cupboards are all filled. This is going to be a fun year in the division. And last year, of course, the Lions swept the division. They won all 6 games, swept the Bears barely, swept the Vikings, and beat up on the Packers as well. And today, the St. Brown podcast came out. Of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown and former Packers receiver Equanimeous St. Brown interviewed Isaac TeSlaa, the Lions' newest wide receiver. And this kid has just an unbelievable personality. He's fun. He's got the flowing locks, the curly hair going, and he just looks like a guy that fits with the Lions. And of course, he showed up to his interview down in Allen Park with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and company in a Calvin Johnson jersey. So he's a Lions fan. He's from the state of Michigan, of course, won a state championship in high school at Ford Field. And he's on the St. Brown podcast. And Equanimeous St. Brown, who's kind of annoying, to be quite honest. He's not as cool as his brother. He asked him about Amon-Ra, I think, asked him about, do you know the teams in the division? And Isaac said, of course, Lions, Bears, and Vikings. Then he had to stop himself. He goes, no, Lions, Bears, Vikings, Packers. And Equanimeous St. Brown said something like, oh, yeah, I was on the Packers, or I'm a Packer. What do you think of the Packers? And Isaac TeSlaa said, I hate the Packers with a burning passion. That was it. And it was like, now it's all over the internet. It's making headlines. TeSlaa already ripping on the Packers. He hates the Packers because he grew up here. And it's like, he gets it. Easily he could have said, I don't like any team we play. No, I hate the Packers with a burning passion. And, can't wait for the opener. Week 1, he said. TeSlaa. Week 1. These guys all know. And that's the kind of guy you want on your team. Maybe I'm overrating this a little bit. I frankly love it. And I know, Peter Bukowski, our buddy at Locked On Packers, takes a lot of grief from you Lions fans. And, he trolls on the internet and on his Twitter feed and everything else. But Pete's not, from a personal standpoint, Pete is a troll professionally and plays the role of villain very well, hosting Locked On Packers, but he's not a bad guy. All right. But the thing with Isaac is he's fitting in already. And he's got this built-in hatred for the Packers just based off his history as a Lions fan. And now he's on the Lions. And I love this. And I like that he didn't hold back. And I like that he said he hates them with a burning passion. It adds more spice to week 1. And if the Lions are going to repeat as division champs, they got to beat Green Bay. And week 1 is already going to be a marquee game. We know it's a 425 game. We know how good Jordan Love can be. There are times you watch him and He's phenomenal. There's other times that he's, not the best, and he throws it to the other team. Remember last year when Kirby Joseph pick-sixed him at Lambeau in the rain. But I'm excited to see what TeSlaa is going to do. And I think that when we get to the preseason, we get to July, this is the guy that I think everybody's going to fall in love with during the exhibition season, because you're not going to see St. Brown. You're not going to see Tim Patrick. I would guess you're not going to see Jamison Williams or even Khalif Raymond in any of these preseason games. What's the point of putting these guys out there? And Dan Campbell and the coaching staff have done it. They have pretty much held the starters out the last couple of years. Now, the joint practices, and we told you yesterday, we think there's going to be joint practices with both Miami and Houston those weeks of the exhibition games. The joint practices are really where you learn about guys and how ready they are. They got the pads on. They're going up against other starters on other teams. And it's yes, there's hitting and there's some tackling, but the quarterbacks aren't touched, and it's as real to a game situation as you can get. But I think TeSlaa is a guy that when we get to the exhibition games, including the Hall of Fame game July 31st against the Chargers, this is a guy that everybody's going to be watching, seeing, and excited about. And I think he's going to make some plays. But he already has a little bit of an attitude. And it's not cockiness. It's not arrogance. He's just real. He goes on that pod and says, I hate the Packers with a burning passion. I like that. I applaud that. He's not being too crazy, but he also is keeping it real. That's who he is. It was genuine. So shout out to him. I'm excited to see what he can do. I don't know how great he's going to be in year one as a third-round rookie and as a guy that many people felt the Lions reached on. And again, Lions are good receivers already. Khalif Raymond is no slouch. Tim Patrick was excellent last year. They brought him back for a reason. You know how good St. Brown and J-Mo are. And there's times Laporta is split out pretty wide. So I'm not sure how many reps Isaac's going to get. But when he gets an opportunity and has the football, fans are going to fall in love with him, especially in the preseason. He's going to get more looks than anybody. All right, that'll do it for us on this Wednesday edition of Locked On Lions. Thanks, everybody, for making us your first listen. Checking us out wherever you get your podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our Locked On Lions YouTube channel as well.